dear to me. I became green jacket because of the first blue flip chart. So I want to hear it again and I want to use it again. But yes, let's wait for 2 more minutes and let's wait for our MVP to log in.
He's logged in already.
Where? I didn't see him. Oh, Sol Saludes, Black Gold. Okay. So do we have new teammates or member or guest from this call?
Not new. I mean, new in the business, but they attended the convention.
Okay.
Like
Rosa
Ma'am
May.
Melinda is new. She's gonna take her exam along with her team there, Ma'am May, Ma'am Rosa. So they're fired up. They're gonna be GX and GXMD.
Awesome.
So I think they scheduled their exam already, right, Ma'am Mel?
So 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes, and 1 more minute to remind your teammates, please. 1 more minute and we'll hear from the best trainer, MVP. Paulit-ulit. Yeah. He's on.
I'm always on.
There you go. So I will be the host for tonight. My name is Lizelle Camanag. For those people that don't know me, I'm based from Las Vegas, Nevada. Been in the business for 10 years. And yes, I grew up with this blue flip chart. Because I remember, when I started 2014, we don't have the iPad yet. We really do flip the chart, technically, literally. And I became green jacket using the blue flip chart. And today I'm just so excited because WSB head coach released it again. It's the summary of Blue Book. So please be excited. We will learn, the rule of 72, the concept, the strategy again. And we will hear it from, of course, from the MVP of Elite Team. Background-wise, he used to be an engineer. I love his job because his job is to taste ice cream every day. I don't know if every hour, but he has an exciting career as an engineer. And he's a good friend. Okay, and hoping to be an MVP again for this year. And of course, can we give a round of applause to Sol Saludes? Thank you.
All right. So that I would suppose, Lizelle, that's a turnover to me. I'll take it away. All right. See a lot of smiling faces. Team, how are you doing? Great?
Doing good. So how are you?
All right.
Excellent.
I'm always good. Hey, Senor Danny. Danny. Great to see you, bro. So yeah, I was asked today. That's a lesson learned. Don't suggest anything unless you don't want to do it. Just kidding. No, my first question is, are you excited for today? That do you expect to learn something, or do you expect to learn something like 1 or 2 strategies, right?
Yes.
Of course,
Yes, right?
yes.
So we want to learn something. Lizelle, I think, over-introduced me with all those nice words. But actually, I think my point of view is that the first thing that you need to do in any appointment, expect closing. If you are in doubt, if you are in fear, getting out of your car and hitting that doorbell because your client or your prospect, your new team member, you're about to do a joint own share, you're about to sell something, you're about to recruit, and inside of you there's a certain fear, there's a certain low confidence. That's not a very good way to start your presentation or your appointment. So the first thing is mindset. In anything that you do, mindset is very, very important. I was talking to Joy over dinner, and we're talking about PFS. And the first thing that I asked her is, how's your attitude during PFS? Because the attitude during PFS, your confidence during PFS would show in your body language, would show in the tone of your voice, and that transmit to the other person across the table. So I know I'm gonna teach a few things today. I'm excited to do that, but every time you attend a meeting, anticipate that I'm gonna learn, regardless of who's doing the training. So I was tasked right now to do the flip chart. It's actually a new, and actually it's an old flip chart for us. It's just packaged differently. So I'm excited when I started hearing about this flip chart. And then we're gonna introduce it in the convention. I immediately saw it, I think Monday or Tuesday after buying it from the store, going through it, and just like Lisel, it brought me good memories. It brought me good memories because this flip chart is very, very, very doable. It's very, very doable. Actually, we don't need for us to show you this. We just want to use this Monday evening as a very good motion also for us, as a very good follow-up after convention. But for those people who are still a little bit lacking confidence, I just want to show you that it's very, very doable. It's flip, point, rib, flip, point, rib, flip, point, rib, flip, close. Set up the new appointment, right? So what I'm gonna do is, in actuality, you might be using an actual flip chart, which is good, like this one, in actuality. But right now, what I'm gonna do is gonna do a PowerPoint because we are not face to face. So as you can see, PowerPoint sometimes are very intimidating for some people. You don't need PowerPoint. Just like what Coach said, sometimes there's no power in PowerPoint. But for the sake of today's logistics, I'm gonna show a PowerPoint. And in PowerPoint, they have what they call animation. You point, they drive. You point, they fly. You point, they just show up. In a flip chart, they're so easy. Oh, because of my EU, it's always right here. There's no animation in a flip chart. That's why I actually prefer this. But for the sake of our conversation and for the sake of the discussion today, I'm gonna use a PowerPoint. Another thing that I wanna mention is in case that you're still a trainee and you still don't know what to do and what to say, do not go out on the field by yourself. Use your trainer. Use and abuse your trainer. If you are from out of state or out of the city of your trainer, Zoom is a very, very good way. So if you think still that you still don't have the skill to do a presentation, I strongly suggest to you, don't use your trainer. Use your trainer. But on the other hand, in this business, because we work with people, I am a person, we have what we call double philosophy. I also say, you know what, if you can speak English, read, point, and flip, you can do actually a presentation. And just like what John Woo said, I think 2 Saturdays ago, if you're in the beginning of this career, that's the very, very, very best time to commit mistakes. The best time to commit mistake is early on. Do multiple mistakes early on in your career. So that's a very good foundation for you. That's a very, very good foundation to you. And sometimes, how would you commit mistakes? There's some people like Melanie nodding like that, right? How would you commit mistakes? By doing it on your own. Those are the perfect condition. That's a perfect storm to commit mistakes. But having a good attitude, by having a good heart, by having a strong mentality, but no skill yet, you can do it. You can do it. As long as you commit those mistakes early on in your career, that's a perfect training. So now, going into, so what I'm gonna do is I would pretend that maybe Lisel brought me in as her trainer, and then I'm just going to a friend of Lisel, and we're basically the purpose of the appointment is she just wants to share something that she learned during G24. She's so excited, And I want you to meet my friend and my trainer who's gonna share what we learned in G24. So, take it away. All right, Lizelle, what's the name of your friend? I forgot to ask you.
Tina Bruno.
Tina. Oh, Tina. All right, we went there. We entered the house door and said, "Hey, Tina," and then Lizelle would introduce me with those kind words. If you bring me as a trainer, I'm a playwright. So whoever I am presenting to is always on my right. Whoever is my trainee, it's always on my left. So that's me. If you would go out with me, I would always tell you or make sure that we do it in the kitchen table. I want to make sure that my guests or your friends are on my right. Lizelle, you would be on my left. And after you give me some nice words about me, shut up. Just nod and smile and clap if I say something nice, and you let the trainer do their job, right? Very, very, very practical. Small things, but very important. Small things, but very important. So, Tina, thank you for saying yes to Lizelle. You know what? We had a good time in Vegas. I live in Bakersfield, just like what Lizelle. I'm from Bakersfield, used to be an engineer. The good thing is we almost have the same temperature, except that in Bakersfield, there's no gambling, but just a bunch of cows. And I really am happy that Lizelle took the guts to call you, because we learned this new way of sharing what we do. And you know what? If you have your credit card with you out there, you know what? No, we're not selling anything. We're not selling anything. We're just sharing some information on things that people have told us in school. So if you may, I'm going just gonna share this some information with you. So I'm started doing the flip chart. So Tina, yes, Lizelle mentioned to you about me. But in here, this is what I observed, not only in Bakersfield, but I think across U.S. and Canada. There's a lot of our middle-income families right now are facing a lot of challenges. And you can see here, from no budgeting to no goals to not interested in financial future. And all of these things did not happen overnight. This is including myself. I was in this position years ago because of the bad habits and poor decisions that I made. Not 1 week, not 1 month, but over a period of time. And one of the questions that I actually asked myself is, how come the rich people, they do not walk that way? Their back are not like that. What do they know that I actually do not know? So that's one of the things that I've been asking years ago. And another one is another challenge, actually, aside from those challenges, is what's happening right now in our community, in our town, in our city. Is the first thing is the total life expectancy at birth. Right now, you can see that at last year, a male could live up to like 79.3, females, women can live up to 83.8. But because of advancement in science, healthy living, people are actually living longer. But by 2060, men would live averaging around 86.2 years, and females almost 90 years. And what does this mean? Actually, with this is together with a declining birth rate, single parenthood, increasing health concerns, those are the things that are consequences of having all these concerns right now in our community. Aside from that is, you know what, we are also facing challenge for me and or for my parents. Those are baby boomers who are about to retire or who are retiring right now. My concern actually for me and my wife, 20 years, 30 years down the road is appropriate housing for me? How can we be supervised? Can I still be able to drive? Can I still like drive 3 blocks down the road to eat ice cream or to buy ice cream? Together with that is how would I be able to effectively do by wealth transfer and health directives? All of these things are coming our way. And we like it or not, all these challenges are facing us, and we have to find a way to be able to approach them head on with confidence in our life. This is a very good statement right here, and I think of this regularly for myself and for my parents. Are you too busy during the first half of your life trying to prepare for the second half? And both of those half of years are very, very important. So one of the things that we start with in terms of like having this financial education, when people ask me, Sol, it seems that you know a little bit about money. Yes, I'm doing this full time. I help my family first, and my purpose in life is to help more families. And this is the first thing that we show them. And this is the first thing that I'm gonna share with you, Tina. 4 foundations: proper protection, debt management, emergency fund, investments. All of these things are important. They're co-equal important to our life. They just have to be put one top of the other. So the first one is proper protection. Proper protection so that the number one asset in my family is the income earner. So I have to protect that income by protecting that income earner in terms of like serious illness, chronic illness, critical illness, terminal illness, or premature death. Debt management, I heard and I strongly believe if I do not control my debt, the debt would control me. Emergency fund, especially during COVID, this emergency fund really came alive for those people who have one. And this become a very serious issue for those people who have none. And then investments basically down the road is what would be my investment so that I would be able to have a very good second part of my life. Now, my question to you, Tina, is what's your current financial situation right now? Because what we teach is our proper protection should be at least around 10 times our income. Debt management, super ideally 0. Emergency fund is around 3 to 6 months. And when I think about my goal for the investment savings that I would save up for my future, for me and my wife, should be around 20 times my income. Yes, without a strong financial foundation, my financial house won't stand. And I really want my financial house to really be prepared well and to withstand, because I know I'm gonna live longer. I'm gonna live longer with me and my spouse, my partner, and we want to be happy. So I want my financial house to be solid. Another concept that I love to teach, and I love teaching this especially when I talk about some rollovers and everything. In our life, there's 2 curves. The first curve is taking care of family. This concept right here clearly shows the relationship of responsibility and building assets or building wealth. What's the relationship between being responsible right now and having a very solid financial house in the future, which means building wealth? So for this one, these are the 2 curves in our financial life. The first one is taking care of my family. This is the time that I have a bunch of responsibility. I'm paying a mortgage, maybe 2 cars, tuition fee for my kids, credit card. I want to buy alcohol on weekends to make me a little bit happy. So those are all responsibility at an early age. It's high. But the plan should be, as I grow older towards retirement, that responsibility should be lower and lower, that my responsibility with just me and my partner. And then to be able to do that, how would I be able, what kind of concept, Sol, what do you teach? families, or what do you teach individual like me to be able to properly say that I am protected well, or I am protected properly? Actually, in here, you can see this. You know what? This forgot to say. I have this book with me. Actually, gonna leave this with you. So this conversation of ours, just a preview. It's like a movie. This what we're talking about is like a 15-20 minute preview of this book that I'm gonna lead, and you would be able to see this excerpt on page 24. We can open up page 24, and you can see here as a detailed explanation. Mine is just a summary. So going back to taking care of your family, the computation to protect my family would be I have to compute all my debt. I have to put in income times 10, whatever is my yearly income times 10. I want to put in whatever is the balance for my mortgage. And then I wish to also help my kids to prepare for education in the event of serious illness or premature death. So this insurability need is the number that Lisel and I would show you on our next appointment to be able to help you take care of your family. But together with that is, you know what? You also have to take care of yourself. Why do I want to take care of myself? Because I don't want to be at the assistance of the government. I want to be not the assistance, but my own personal security. And to be able to do that is we also have a concept called wealth formula. This is our basic formula to be able to build wealth in the future. So it's comprised of certain ingredients like baking a cake. I'm not so sure if you want to bake cake, Tina, but I love cooking. But for you to bake a cake, you need to have certain ingredients. So the first one is money. The second one is time. Time is very, very critical. Money is the seed money, the time. If I have $20 right now, I put it on a microwave for 20 seconds, it's gonna be $20 still. I need more than 20 seconds or 20 minutes to be able for my money to grow. And the next one would be rate of return. It's plus when the rate of return is good, the market is good. You're losing money if the rate of return is negative. And the last two, inflation and taxes, that would always put our money or funds down in terms of like value. So as you can see here, out of the 5 ingredients, the money and the time are the only one that's within my control. The rate of return, inflation, taxes, those are something that not within my control. So I just focus generally on money and time. So in terms of like your income, you need 10 times your income to protect your family. That's gonna be on the left side. And for you to be able to take care of yourself, you need 20 times your income for your future retirement. So all of these things are happening at the same time. Yes, it kind of intimidating. No, we would help you. With proper budgeting and proper attitude, we would be able to give this skill and more concepts to be able to take care of your family now while making sure that you're taking care of yourself for the future. If you remember the financial foundation, what's the second block? Debt management. This is just our strategy. This is one of our strategy wherein my number one question to friends of my friends is, hey Tina, how would you feel if your debt that you're supposed to pay in 30 years, you can actually pay in 17 years? Yes, there is a way, a proper discipline and proper budgeting. And in here, we would invite you to our workshop to explain this fully, but in a bird's eye view, you know that an extra $100 a month that you can put in and pay and do a what we call a debt roll-up. A debt roll-up wherein after finishing one debt, you use all those budget to be able to pay your second debt. And in general, a 30-year total debt could actually be put in 17 years. And in here, a lot of people already said thank you to me because having a debt controlling our life, it affects everything, including our health. So yes, you can prevent debt from impacting your future by being able to force and have them fix as early as today. So that's part of the financial foundation. And now go back to the wealth formula. We talk about rate of return right now. In here, when was the last time somebody explained to you about the rule of 72, Tina? Oh, wala pa, not yet. Oh, cool. So you should thank Lizelle later on, because this is one of the, I would say, miracles of this number 72. The rule of 72 is you divide 72 by the rate of return, whatever is the interest rate or rate of return of your money. And the answer is the number of years it takes to double your money. I know people love to double their money, but they do not know how, or they have no idea how money would double. So hypothetically, this is not a product, this is a concept. So hypothetically, you have a financial product that's earning at 6%. So Tina, 72 divided by 6 is 12. So for example, so it doubles every 12 years. What do I mean by that? For example, you have a principal. You have extra money that you want to invest or save, and you were initial amount of around 10,000 US dollars at 6%. So after 12 years, though, that $10,000 is now 20,121, double. You do another 12 years, and that's going to be 40,489. You do another 12 years, and that's actually 81,472. So you would see here that the power compounding effect for money, wherein a 6% would double your money every 12 years. Now let's have another example. 70, like an 8%. 72 divided by 8 equals 9. So how many years you would double your money? 9. Lucky number 9. Same amount of money. 10K. So in 9 years, 18 doubled to 27, doubled to 36, equals 159,682. Just double to 10, to almost like 20, to almost 40, to almost 80, and then to almost 160K. And then lastly, for more examples, 72 divided by 10 years now, it doubles every 7.2 years. Initial amount is 10,000. You do the math. At 36, in 36 years, your principal of 10,000 becomes 309. What's another thing, especially here, is, you know, the difference between 6 and 8 is actually just 2%. And the difference between 8 and 10% is actually 2%. You might say 2% is a very small number, but you know what? Remember the wealth formula? Over a period of time, you would really be able to control and build wealth. From 81 to 159,000 to 309. Just a difference of 2%. So if you save, and then this one is, we're going to talk about inflation still, but part of the wealth formula, remember, money, time, rate of return, and what's after the rate of return? Inflation. That's what I think Tina says. Yeah, inflation. So how would I be able to explain everything about inflation and taxes? So if you save $100 at a 5% interest, what's 5% of $100? It's 5. But wait, we live here in US and Canada. We always pay taxes on capital gains. We always pay taxes on income. So hypothetically, if you are on a assumed effective rate of 25%, what's 25% of $5? $1.25. So you might say, oh, after paying Uncle Sam and Sacramento, for me in California, that's actually 103.75. But wait, the wealth formula is not yet done. This is just minus tax. You have your money, you got your rate of return, you minus the tax, and you minus the inflation. Inflation, I'm going to explain later on towards the last part of our discussion tonight. And the inflation is at 3%. So 3% of inflation would put it at $3. Your actual return, because we're still talking about rate of return. That 6%, the 8%, the 10% is not really your actual rate of return. Your actual rate of return is actually this, 100.75, the real rate of return. So what I'm showing here, Tina, is at this example, for you to gain money, for your principal to gain wealth, you should at least beat the tax and you should beat inflation. Because at 25% tax and inflation of 3%, technically your 100 only earned 0.75. And that's your take-home money. So for this one, now this still is part of return, and this is about investment on our financial foundation. Assume your income is 60,000 per year and set aside 10%. So per month, saving, how do you feel like saving 500 a month? This is basically $17 per day, compound over time. If you have an initial rate of return of 8% over 30 years, actually, you would be able to save 745,000, hypothetically. What if you will be able to, Lizelle, show you something that historically is earning around 10%, right? Just by giving that $17 per day, compound over a period of time. Actually, then that's the time that you can say, I'm the millionaire next door. Yes, with discipline and budgeting, you can do it. So all these concepts are simple concepts, but things that I haven't learned and heard until I get exposed to this community that Lizelle and I are part of. That's why I was really so happy in the last week when I went to Vegas. All these things was refreshing to me, and because you're my friend, I want to share this to you as well. And now we go to what we call the silent killer. And this is so important that we actually dedicate a page for this concept. Inflation meaning the silent killer. The average cost of living. You know, Tina, when I came over here in the US in 01, when I go to Albertson, to my favorite grocery store, I would bring a $20 bill. And then after I do my grocery, I'm gonna have bags of groceries that I'm gonna take home. Right now, at 2024, I bring that same paper, that same $20 bill. And chances are, I don't have to use a bag. I just can carry it in my arm because I have to pay for the bags. So this next few information are basically the same thing. What's the cost of living in the 70s, 90s, and today? So in the 70s, the new home is around 23,400. Gallon of gas, loaf of bread, and the income, the average income. Unfortunately, they didn't put here the rice. I want to know how much is rice in the 70s and 90s. Anyway, the new home increased dramatically. Gallon of gas increased dramatically. Loaf of bread more than doubled. And then the wages are actually from 9 went to 28,907. And then today, and this is the staggering number that we face today. A new home is already 500,000. In some places, these are doubled. A gallon of gas is 343. I think I paid more last weekend than 343. Loaf of bread, and then the salary. You can see that the expense are not the same way that the wages are increasing. The wages are increasing in less percentage compared to the living expense that we do. So that's the one of the causes of inflation. And then if I have a dollar bill right now that I'm gonna put under the bed, What will my $100 do in the next 20 years? 5 years from now, it's actually just $86. Inflation, for me to have the same buying power of the dollar in 5 years, I should actually save 116. In 10 years, my $100 bill that I'm gonna put under the mattress would now have it would decrease to a purchasing power of 74. And then in 20 years, it's almost half. That's why when I saw this, I said, I really have to find a way for my money to work for me. After working hard for the money, I need my money to work hard for me, because if not, inflation, which I cannot see, which I cannot touch, but definitely I can experience in my day-to-day life, would basically eat my the value of my money. And in here, retired today's dollars, they said it's around 4,000 per month. In 20 years, for me to have that same lifestyle at a 4,000 per month lifestyle right now, in 20 years, I should have some money that's equivalent to 7,224 for me to be able to maintain the same lifestyle that I do right now in 20 years time. So that's basically a simple explanation of inflation. And now we're almost towards the wealth formula. Tina, when was the last time you happily gave away money to the government? Oh, never? You don't like giving away money? Since they take away taxes monthly, you still give them some money at the end of the year? Because in here, depending on where you put your money, it depends how the government would treat it. During my explanation of this table, Tina, I always remember my grandfather. My grandfather would say, tell me who your friends are, and I'm gonna tell you who you are, right? Seems legit. And in here, I'm gonna say the same concept. Tina, tell me where your money is. I'm gonna tell you how the government would tax it. Because in here, we only have 3 ways for your taxes to have an effect on you. Tax now is you earn, you pay, you put it in. You had a capital gains for that year, you buy tax now. Tax later is most probably you have this. If you're working and they have a retirement plan for you, if you've been working for a better company, they have a pension for you. Some people want extra retirement. They have an IRA set up for them. So these are tax later accounts, 401. You put money there, it's not yet tax. They grow money, they not the tax. You use the money in the future, definitely that's the time you're gonna tax. But wait, you use the money before 59 and a half? You use the money before 59 and a half, aside from federal and state tax, if you have a state tax, then the government slaps your hand with another 10%, because you're saying you're too young to use your retirement money. And then lastly on this bucket, and this is my favorite bucket, working with families for almost like 10 years now, this is one of the things that most families do not know, that they can actually have tax advantage, or in street word, tax-free accounts. When you look at this list, Tina, which one do you have? Oh, you don't have one. Okay, cool. Then thank Lizelle again, because we would be able to show you to complete, to diversify your retirement or your savings for the future. We would be able to help you diversify for tax now, tax later, and tax advantage. Yes, knowing the tax impact of your money is important to build your financial future. You don't want people taking money away from you as much as possible. So these are some concepts that we would teach you the next time we meet next week. And we're going towards the last, and we're going towards the most important things. Whenever, Tina, whenever you save money, whenever you invest money, if you can take a picture of this, you know what? Never mind. Just go to page 79 of this book. Just go to page 79 of this book. I already put some marker here. These are the 4 things that you would have to look at every time you save or invest money. You make sure that your rate of return is high enough to beat taxes and inflation. You don't want to lose your principal as much as possible. So manage the risk, be able to preserve your principal. Tax deferred and tax advantage vehicles are great. So we would be able to help you with that. And lastly, you need to protect your income, your assets, in terms of like chronic illnesses or premature death. We need to protect your money and protect who you're protecting. So when saving and investing, consider these factors. Again, this is on page 79 of this book. So we now clearly know that having a very bright financial future needs some work. We need, it's not something that would just come to our lap. It's something that we should work for. And it's a good thing that you have a friend like Lisel, that we belong to a community wherein we would be able to guide you how to be able to build your future. And one of the things that we do is what we call a financial checkup, a personal financial strategy, wherein we would talk about first, what keeps you awake at night? What gives you some headache over the weekend? What gives you some headache whenever you see some bills? We're going to talk about that. And then also, aside from that, is how do you see yourself in 5 years or in 10 years? How do you see yourself during retirement? How do you see yourself, just you and your spouse, holding hands by the beach? Because in here, yes, if you have the will, we can provide the vehicle. So it starts with you. If you have the will and you have the desire, financial security is definitely not a dream, and it is a priority. And one more note before we leave in a while, maybe you can open up for questions for you. And this is actually one of my favorite slide or information that I give away for friends of my friends. It's I haven't met a person who does not need an extra income. Honestly, my wife is a registered nurse making 6-figure income. I used to be an engineer, very, very decent income. But the thing is, because we lack financial education, we lack financial literacy. Actually, we used to be a part of those people who are bent backwards like that. No budget, no goals. We earn 10,000, we spend 11,000, and we don't even know it because we always use the credit card and just pay whatever we can pay for the month. And this is one of the gifts that we can show you, wherein yes, there's an opportunity to make extra income on a part-time basis, and there would be a lot of opportunity wherein we can have multiple sources of income. So these are the things that you would continue to hear from Lisel and me. So I thank you. I thank you, Tina, for allowing us to go here on a nice Monday evening. And yeah, I'm gonna open this up just for any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And I timed this.
This is my first presentation after G24.
Awesome.
So I asked my wife to time me. It's 32 minutes. 32 minutes. So if you can do lesser than 32 minutes, you're an expert. If you can do less than 32 minutes, if you can train yourself to have a shorter presentation, because a shorter presentation is harder than a longer presentation. And one thing that I didn't do, which I would share right now, what if, Ging, you're in the middle of the presentation and somebody cut you off and said, "Hey, Sol, we have to go," or something like that. What do you do? Or have you experienced that before? So what I would suggest, you always have I don't want to use the memorize last like around three sentences. You should be ready for anything that would happen under the sun. So what I normally do is sure, yeah, actually we should be able to go, but let me just finish with this. Then I go to the last slide, and then make sure that you and your trainee would book another appointment before you leave that door. Yeah, it's not, no, you're not pushy. You're just being positively aggressive. You're just being positively aggressive. You make sure that you thank them and everything. I know for Norman Galanto's team, because I talked to them asking for input before, Norman doesn't want you to be in the house for more than 2 hours. No, he doesn't want. I tell my team, I talk to him in Hawaii, I tell my team 2 hours is too long for you to stay. You're encroaching in their privacy already. Unless you're super welcome. You can smell it. But as much as possible. So on this kinds of presentation, you might get rattled if somebody suddenly said, hey, can we finish it in now or something? So make sure you have a prepared ending. In any presentation, in any training, you should have a prepared ending so that you can confidently, without feeling rattled, feeling pressured. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. And then just say your last 3 or 4 sentences. Thank them. What do you call this? Honestly, thank them. And then book your next appointment with them together with you or your training. So I know a lot of you can still can do this better than me. Just do a lot of practice. Any,
Thank you.
yeah, like Lisel, I don't take questions. No, no, just kidding. Just kidding. Any comment or things from your who did this since Friday?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, Connie did. Yes, and she has a follow-up appointment next week for a face-to-face. She did it through Zoom, so it's gonna be an FFIUL. So
Thanks.
So there's a question where to get the PowerPoint presentation.
oh man, who's your trainer? No, I'm just kidding. Go to worldsystembuilder.com. Go register. Tell your SMD to approve your registration, and then go to the dashboard.
Resources.
Let me share my screen. So we have a lot of new teammates, and congratulations everyone. This is the highest attendance so far. We have 89 that I saw that logged in. So they wanna hear, they all wanna hear you, Sol. So this is our dashboard. Okay, if you are not a member yet, okay, we can go to worldsystembuilder.com and you'll see a tao right there, and we can log in. But of course, it requires your SMD's approval. But if you're already a member, you can see it from the presentations and posters right there. And Jaran, you can download it as a PDF and as a PowerPoint. So now that you all know, okay, we expect everyone to use it and practice how to present. So any question for our
One more comment, listen.
any comment?
All right, Kuya Sol, it's Joy from Colorado.
Yes, Joy.
So yeah, I like your I really do like it, but yeah, that's my problem. It's quite a long. So I like to interact with the person that I present. So do you have any suggestion, like question?
Good question, Joy. Actually, I was waiting for that question. You know, when I don't have a trainee, well, if I have a trainee, Joy, you have to be patient. Your trainer would have to go through it all the way, unless there's something going on with your appointment, with your guest, right, or with your prospect. So that's the job of a trainee. The purpose of this one, if you remember John Woo, we want to unify. You want to, so when my trainee goes with Lisel, when Lisel's new associate goes with me, we want to be unified, elite team unified. I know Don has a what you call this, as an announcement later on for unify, because when you are unified, then what's the next word?
Duplication.
Yeah, you when you unify, you simplify, and when you simplify, you multiply, right? So I think the first one should be simplify. You simplify, unify, so that we can multiply. So Joy, yes, it's kind of long. Actually, the old flip chart is actually longer because there's more information in it. But as you go along, as you became more and more what you call this, more and more confident, actually in certain slides you don't have to explain it the way I did. Especially, and this is true to myself, all of us has a favorite concept, right? My favorite concept is X curve, financial foundation, and X curve wealth formula. Those are my three. That's why on the rule of 72, I don't explain it the way I explain it in front of you. In these concepts, I have top three. I love top three. Those are my top three: financial foundation, X curve, and the wealth formula. Because of those three concepts, I can roll over millions of dollars just because of that concept. So I'm connected with that. When I explain it, I'm passionate about it. So the person on the other side, they can get my energy, and it encourages them to learn more. Now, you as a campaigner, you might have a different concepts that you fall in love with. Knowing yourself and knowing that concept, use that strength. If you are not in love with rule of 72, you stutter, you divided by 7, don't. Just read the slide and go to the next one, right? Because if you are not if you do not believe on that concept, or not really don't believe in that concept, but if you don't have a positive experience of that concept, you are not confident, you're not skillful on that concept, then don't. Then don't. But I strongly urge you, fall in love with financial foundation. You have no choice. You have no choice. So, Joy, going back to your question, yes, on the first 10 presentations, yeah, you have to be patient. If you have a trainer, your trainer would go through the slides. But if you are a trainer already and you don't have a trainee with you, you can do anything you want, as long as it's compliant, right? So, because you're not training anyone, you want to do the flip chart in 5 minutes, just pick 2 or 3 concepts, you can do that when you are already ready to go out by yourself. When you are ready to go out by yourself. But right now, yes, it's like on school, right? Like in school, sometimes the first 3 months are boring because you learned that from the previous year, right? And then now the second semester, third semester would come in, and that's where the fun would begin. But yes, Joy, I completely agree with you. I feel you. 30 minutes is long for me. But as a trainee, as a trainer, you have to go through certain training methods to be able to do that, and find yourself, and find your find your way into the business. I hope that helps, Joy.
Thank you.
Welcome. Of course, the other green jackets can also, other trainers can also share your point of view.
For me, Joy, know your your client, know your prospect. In the beginning, when I, 10 years ago, when I used the flip chart and I starting to be independent, okay, from my trainer, I remember I am not flipping and I am not reading everything because I don't want to make a mistake. So I only share what I am very confident, slides only. So of course, this is a new flip chart to everyone. We don't expect for all of us to learn everything in the flip chart. So slowly, if you know your blue book, blue flip charts is easy. But if we don't read the blue flip chart all the time, it will take time for us to know the concept and strategies from the blue flip chart. And that's me. We don't have to flip everything if we don't know it.
Mhm. And lastly, Sal, that's why I wanna butt in. I'll show you something. WSB is so good that they would even give us the words to say. How many of you have downloaded the PowerPoint? Maybe none yet, right? Oh yeah. If you can see, we're sharing. If you have to do a little bit of research in PowerPoint, but this is the slide of the PowerPoint, right? So this is a slide of the PowerPoint. If you would look at each slide, there are comments, and these are the words that you can actually use if you don't know what to say yet. There's some slides that would say just read the slide, so just read it. But there's some that would add comments at the bottom. Those are some of the words that I use. Remember, look at this. Rule of 72. Man, that's too long. But I have to do it because for the sake of training, for the sake of exposure, but I won't in the future, honestly. Look at this, saving your future here, manage growth, ending and everything. So look at this. Don't just do it. Those are the materials that they gave us. So they're so good. They're so simple. All you have to do is read and make sure you believe what you're reading and you connect with them.
Any more comments or any more questions? This is the time.
Madam.
Go ahead, Attorney Laura.
Yeah, so just in case I have a friend who is not yet a member of our team, but would like to know more about our community, then should she be approved as well by the SMD when she want to access the worldsystembuilder.com?
No, do you have any idea, Sol?
I believe
Worldsystembuilder.com is for members only.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Members
Thank
only.
you.
Yeah.
Ate Faye, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. How can I, I'm a member. I am a member already, but I would like to get an access to that. Will I be able to do it?
Yes, Ate. Who's your SMD, Ate? Joke.
Demote ka ng associate, ayusin mo.
No, he's driving right now, so I can say that. Okay, ask your...
Yeah, I will ask to
Okay.
get approval.
Gigi can help
Are they
her.
going to give me a certain code?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ate Fe, Andrada, you have a question or comment?
No, I just want to say something.
No.
So thank you. That was a very good presentation. But
Yeah.
to be honest, 2012, that's how it was presented to me. And for me, like, don't have any idea about finance, it got me confused. So this flip chart for me is not meant to be discussed one SAFI.
Fine.
It has to be, you have to identify what really the client needs, and that's what we have to focus on. So that we have to keep going back. At that time, 2012, like I said, they were already recruiting me with WFG, and this is the way how they presented. There was no flip chart, but it was the blue book. and like what it was presented right now, that's the way it was presented to me. At the time, I don't have any idea about finance, and I was confused, like rule of 72. So for a new beginner or a new person getting the first time presentation, it's so hard to assimilate.
Any
Yeah,
comment?
that's a valid experience, Fe. So what's your question?
No, I don't have any question. Like I said, for us, because we have the idea, it's like it's so easy for us to grasp. But for a person that we're just getting in, first time that we're meeting, to present the whole flip chart, it's like kind of, it's like we're showing them like, it's so hard for me.
Hard on the presenter or hard
Or
on the listener?
hard on the listener.
Oh yes, yeah, and that's very very what do you call that? Expected, because we do not know anything about finance. So that's why the critical next steps are important. The PFS, or getting what you call, getting a second appointment and getting the feedback. So when I talk to Tina, do you have any questions? Sometimes they would say, no, I don't. Yeah, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Then you do some challenging questions. What part of the presentations do you like the most? Or what part of the presentation can you tell me more that for you is hardest to understand in terms of like exposure, but first time you hear? So,
So are we mandated or are we obliged to switch from what we're doing now to and use this method?
No, Ate Pe. I know you have certain presentations that you've been doing now, and we have the campaign intro, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is an added tool, but from the point of view of the leadership of WSB, we want to make it simple. But is this mandated 100%? No, it's not. No, it's not. We're gonna use some parts of the campaign intro still, because there's some parts of campaign intro that I really like. But definitely, I'm gonna use this as well for sales. I'm gonna use the last page for recruitment. I can even actually recruit at the financial foundation. So all of these things, the skill you'll be able to learn as you get exposed to multiple trainers or to your trainer for this one. So that is expected. I was an engineer. Some of the things, more than half of the things that I have here when I listened to Don more than 10 years ago, didn't click on me. The only thing that clicked on me was financial foundation. When I heard the first blue flip chart before the financial foundation, the rest, nah, it was a boring topic from my experience more than 10 years ago, right? So you would have the same prospects in the future. Some prospects would be confused, some prospects would say no, some prospects would buy from you, but all you need to do is set up more and more and more appointments. And for the new people here, confidence comes from skill. You will be confident the minute you have the skill. How would you get the skill? More practice. More practice. That's why
Practice makes perfect.
you make mistakes early on in your career.
Yeah, thanks Atifi for asking that question, because the reason I asked earlier, I actually have the experience of using the Blue Book to present my friend, and my intro is asking what's their goal, and then I show the starting age, like when you start savings, and then what you get at the certain age later. I like those, and I also use the foundation, and then the tax deferred like that. Those are really get their interest because nobody want to fee, tax right away. So yeah, I think it's still like Lizelle, still depends our prospect, how we prospect the people or what their needs. Awesome, Joy. Thank you. And also, Ate Fe, our goal initially is to bother people's mind. So let them be confused. Okay, we are the solution if they're confused. Okay, so that is right? It is all about awareness. We don't tend to have the result on the first day of presentation. That's why the key is the follow-up, the next appointment. And I think this is a good presentation. The only thing that we have to do is what? Keep on using it, because the concept is very important, where we neglect to use that for quite some time. So thanks all for the great sharing, and I just have few announcement. If you don't have any more comments or questions, by the way,
Gonna share something muna.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. By special request. This is a good training every Monday. So, I have a lot of people here. And one advice for not just for my team, it's for everyone. How fast you can learn is how many meetings you can attend. So we have different trainings, meetings, not just for product, but with personal development and everything. And, with what Miss Joy is talking about, that's a good observation. What do I need to do, or how am I going to convince the client? And you know what, Miss Joy, it's not about how you convince or how much you know. Because, at the end of the day, what client wants is how much you care. Because they don't know, everything, all their answers. How do you treat each client? Do you treat the same client with a term client, $50, $20 term client, with your $1 million client? Because each, the way you act, the way you talk, the way you look at them in the eyes, those things matter. Small things really matters to them. So that's my share. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Okay. To close, because we're over time of 5 minutes. By the way, welcome to the new teammates. Congratulations, everyone. The highest attendees so far. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? Can we maintain this attendance for every Monday and every meeting? Okay, special shout out to my new bishop, Daniel Yabut. Hi, Daniel. Since I'm the host, I have the privilege. Okay, newly licensed in our team from FEG. So, my screen is not showing.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, but it's not showing the... Give me 2 minutes. Why it's not showing? It's Saul's picture.
You click the 3 dots on
I
top.
know. Share screen. I've been start broadcast and then click the 3 dots on top, right?
Yeah,
And add another window.
There.
There you go. So thanks to you, Sol, the best trainer, the MVP of Elite Team. And what we've learned is the new flip chart that we can use. And for next week, okay, I got a special guest, which is the college consultant, Ate Desiree Abad. So we're moving our training from life insurance, from annuity, from long-term care. Now, new platform is college coaching. So I invite teammates and guests. If we can also invite parents and students, okay, to join us for next week. And also, I want to invite teammates who have their personal experience helping students have financial aids. Like I know Ate Fe, I know Chris Abad, and I also have my personal helping my co-worker.
Meds.
Okay, so let's mute. Okay, so that's gonna be for next week. And to wrap this meeting, again, that flip chart is gearing towards the result. And what our program nowadays is GX. So let's keep using whatever presentation you are comfortable with. But if you have a trainees with you, please let's start using the blue flip chart for us to hit our personal goal, which is GX. Then let's help our teammates reach their GX2, okay, their personal GX. And just to remind everyone, new teammates, we still have this promotion. We can be a marketing director being being GX3 for the next 5 months or 5 consecutive months. So this is just a reminder to all of us. Okay, that flip chart, that activity should be gearing towards the result. So in behalf of our EVC, I know he's supposed to launch his website today, the Elite Team website. He's just driving to California, but probably next week he'll be launching his website. Okay, so to help us for our licensing. So please unmute Mr. EVC. I know you're driving.
Yes, thank you, Lizelle. And thank you, Sol, for that presentation. Definitely next week. Actually, it's live right now. If you can register and start browsing, it's wfgeliteteam.com, and most of the stuff are there. So at least when we discuss it next week, it'll be a review for most of you. So yeah. So we'll see you next Monday. So we'll keep it to like a 30-minute or 40-minute presentation for college coaching, and I'll share some of my experience for my eldest daughter Fiona, who went through that college coaching. And remember, that's one of our platform as well. So next week we'll see you again. Hopefully we'll break the 89 attendees for next week. Let's hit triple digit next week.
Awesome. Thank you, team. Good
All right,
night.
thanks, Lizelle.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
What's the page again?